Deep-sea mining is an expanding industry that seeks to extract valuable minerals and metals from the ocean floor at extreme depths. While it holds the promise of meeting increasing global demands for precious metals and minerals, it also raises concerns about its potentially devastating environmental impacts, further damaging the fragile ecosystems, disturbances to marine life, and uncertainties surrounding the long-term consequences for our oceans. Today at Finance Spur, we'll learn about the race to mine the bottom of the ocean. But for more videos about finance, technology, and business, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. In 2012, a Canadian mining company embarked on an ambitious journey to explore the remote Clarion-Clipperton Zone in the Pacific Ocean, situated a few hundred miles southeast of Hawaii. This region has a hidden treasure, and this is not a pirate treasure, but it is an area full of metals and minerals, worth billions of dollars and vital for many essential products, such as electrical wiring, stainless steel, car engines, jet engines, computers, and phones. Historically, land-based deposits have been sufficient to meet our needs, but the evolving demand for clean energy, essential for decarbonization and the fight against climate change, calls for even more of these precious metals, is up to 6 times more than before. But how does deep-sea mining work in the first place? Deep-sea mining is a complex process that involves the extraction of valuable minerals and metals from the ocean floor, typically at depths exceeding 4,000 meters or about 5 Burj Khalifas stacked on top of each other. The procedure begins with exploration using remotely operated vehicles or ROVs and autonomous underwater vehicles or AUVs to survey the seabed and find mineral-rich areas. Once a suitable site is located, ROVs equipped with specialized tools such as cutting devices and robotic arms collect mineral-bearing materials like polymetallic nodules, cobalt-rich ferromanganese crusts, or seafloor sulfides. The extracted materials are transported to the surface using a riser system or a combination of pumps and pipes. On the surface vessel, the collected ores are processed to separate valuable minerals from unwanted rock and sediment. This typically involves crushing, grinding, and various mineral separation techniques. Once the valuable minerals are separated, they are transported for further processing and refinement, and the waste materials are returned to the ocean floor. Now, what's so special with the Clarion-Clipperton Zone? The Clarion-Clipperton Zone holds a huge portion of these metals, more than all the land-based deposits combined. And truth be told, the Canadian mining company was not the only company or country interested in this underwater resource. As of today, 16 exploration ships representing various countries and private companies are racing to the seafloor to stake their claim. However, the fate of deep-sea mining depends on a relatively obscure UN organization faced with 2 important questions. Is the battle against climate change worth the irreversible environmental harm of seabed mining? And should a select few nations profit from a shared natural resource solely because they were the first to arrive? The knowledge of the presence of valuable metals in the area dates back to the 1970s when the British HMS Challenger circumnavigated the globe and explorers discovered peculiar black oval bodies on the seafloor, resembling rocks roughly the size of apples, rich in metals like manganese, cobalt, and nickel. These metals are found in 3 main types of deposits: hydrothermal vents or underwater hot springs, encrusted on the slopes and summits of undersea mountains, and as rocks scattered on vast, flat seafloor plains. Multinational companies in the 1960s and 70s recognized the potential of deep-sea mining for industrial purposes, including electrical wiring, stainless steel, and fertilizer. Companies from China, Japan, the Soviet Union, Australia, the US, and European nations descended upon the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, testing mining equipment and capturing some of the initial photos of the seafloor rocks. However, concerns about repeating the mistakes of colonialism were raised, with a Maltese delegate to the UN warning against a race that would monopolize the world's resources for a select few nations. In 1982, the UN convened to establish additional laws of the sea, which were signed by over 100 countries, with 3 fundamental conditions for mining in the area. It must benefit all of humanity, consider the interests of developing countries, and ensure the protection of the marine environment. To enforce these rules, the International Seabed Authority, also known as ISA, was founded in Kingston, Jamaica, with every signatory of the laws of the sea becoming a member state of the ISA. These member states review applications for deep-sea mining every few years, and an applicant must secure an exploration contract through the council before they can mine. When an application is approved, the council allocates a 75,000 square kilometer portion of the deep sea to the applicant and reserves an equivalent area for a developing country to claim. Partnerships with developing countries provide access to the reserved area, enabling mining companies to expand their operations. For instance, the Canadian mining company, known as the Metals Company, collaborated with Pacific Island nations like Nauru, Kiribati, and Tonga, which allowed them to claim additional areas reserved for developing countries. These exploration contracts served as a means to test equipment, conduct environmental reviews, and collect rock samples. Now, aside from the apparent monopolization, there are other cons to deep-sea mining. One good example is that the Clarion-Clipperton Zone is home to unique creatures and thousands of undiscovered species adapted to the extreme environment. Mining could introduce noise, light, and sediment plumes, disturbing marine life. Studies have shown that sediment plumes can lead to a significant decline in fish and shrimp populations, raising concerns about the potential impact of mining in this area. As a result, at least 21 countries have called for a ban on deep-sea mining, leading to protests by environmental groups against exploration crews preparing to mine. In 2021, the Metals Company went public, a huge step toward commercial mining. In the same year, they notified the ISA Council of their intent to apply for mining rights. However, the ISA has not established specific regulations for deep-sea mining, and this notice triggered a 2-year rule, setting a deadline for developing regulations. In July 2023, the ISA convened with the goal of reaching a consensus on these regulations. Countries supporting deep-sea mining, including China, Norway, and the UK, argue that the transition to clean energy relies on finding more metals. The Metals Company aligns with this mission, aiming to contribute to the decarbonization of global energy and transport. On the other hand, countries opposing deep-sea mining believe that there is a lack of knowledge about the deep sea to justify the potential irreversible damage it may cause. Moreover, the ISA has not yet developed a fair profit-sharing mechanism. This deadlock has prevented the issuance of mining regulations. The Metals Company plans to submit its mining application in 2024, potentially winning the race to the bottom of the ocean, setting a standard for future mining projects. While the growing demand for metals necessitates tapping into deep-sea resources, the race poses a big environmental problem, potentially destroying both land and sea in the pursuit of these valuable minerals. To mitigate the effects of this race, a parallel race has been ongoing. Research ships have been rushing to document the ecosystem at the bottom of the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, hoping to gather important information that may minimize the impending damage, or at the very least, provide insight into what we are about to lose in our quest to address the climate crisis. But for more amazing videos about finance, technology, and business, don't forget to check out our channel. Also, don't forget to subscribe and click that notify bell for upcoming videos. For now, this is Finance Spur. Have a great day.